Welcome to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Let's Talk Cars Radio is sponsored in part by Napa Car Care Centers, the BDG Auto Group, and by Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmissions. Be a part of the program today by calling 757-222-3705. That's 757-222-3705. Email your questions and comments to Dave at letstalkcarsradio.com. Now, here is the host of Let's Talk Cars Radio, Dave Palach.
Happy Saturday, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110, and happy St. Patrick's Day to you. I got my tie on. How you guys doing? Are you still laughing about my tie? You don't like my tie?
It's an unusual tie.
Hey,
pretty color green.
It's my St. Patrick's Day. It's bold.
Did you buy that for the occasion?
I did.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't buy it. It was bought for me. Let me say it was bought for me. But I do have it.
I thought maybe you had gone out St. Patrick's Day shopping.
Well, I did, but for other stuff. This was actually bought for me.
Okay, got it.
So you know how that works. You remember those days.
Yeah, I do.
So did you have a good week?
Hey, it's been a fine and dandy week.
You know what? We were talking off the air, and before we came on, I was telling Larry about it. So I tried to come in downtown Norfolk during our little slight snow/ice storm. And let me tell you, the accidents were crazy down here in downtown Norfolk. I came across 6 different accidents, and every single one that I came across, like the front end of the car was ripped off, or there was wheels missing, or it was just black ice everywhere. And as Larry and I were talking, he's like, usually I chalk that up to, and what'd you say? It's people just driving like idiots.
Yeah, idiots, but driving beyond what the conditions should require.
But I can tell you this was not the case. It was black ice everywhere. I was going like 10, 15 miles an hour, and the back of my truck just started to slide around for no reason, just because there was so much black ice on the freeway. So there was bad. The accidents. I took some pictures. I was trying to pay attention as I was driving. I was trying to pick my cell phone up real quick and snap some pictures as we were stopped. So I did get a couple of pictures of things.
That's why you need that video camera on the rearview mirror.
Yeah. Well, that's actually in the news this week. So
with the bridge that collapsed in Florida, there was a motorist. I saw a video on the internet where a motorist had caught the bridge falling.
Really?
Yeah. And he had one of those cameras on his rearview mirror. And
it's becoming more and more. I was actually one of the focuses we'll be talking about today is some of the things as far as why those cameras are becoming a little bit more important. So a lot of people are starting to go out. And I told you, I'm thinking about installing them in my vehicles.
The thoughts cross my mind. I'm not there yet, but I think I very well might in the near future.
They're not very expensive. We talked about one a couple months ago called the Owl. And I really like that one. The picture's really clear on it, and it gives you view outside of the vehicle, and it gives you view and audio inside the vehicle as well. So, and it's a pretty cool one. It goes right where your rearview mirror is. It clicks. You barely even tell it's there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Cameras are becoming everywhere.
Like $385 is a common price for a decent one.
Yeah.
So, there's cheaper ones. But
I've seen them for as low as $60.
Yeah, but you want to make sure you got a great view.
I don't know what kind of video quality you get, but
that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried if I buy one of the lesser ones, I wouldn't have as good of audio and video as I want. I want it to be crystal clear. That way, if anything does happen, I got it.
Don't like your pictures grainy, huh?
No. And I've dealt with the video because I got video cameras on the house, so I've dealt with that. And most of my cameras on the house actually work really well. I can see, but I can also see the flaws in them too, where I think they could be better at this or better at that. So,
Are they high def type pictures?
Yeah, they're high def. They are, but I happen to notice that every once in a while when outside, I guess ambient light, when a car drives by at night or something like that, you'll give me a weird glare sometimes that I don't like.
Yeah.
So that I have experienced. So I'm trying to figure out a way to fix that. I don't know. I think it's going to be a different camera.
Go ask the brain trust on the internet.
So we're going to jump right into it. Did you guys happen to see that there is a bill actually out there hanging right now that's going to determine the self-driving cars, autonomous cars, anonymous cars, cars that don't have drivers, cars that don't have steering wheels, gas pedals? Did I cover it all?
I think you got them all.
Okay. That's going to basically control that future.
Is that a federal bill?
The bill's actually called the AV Start Bill, and it's gone up a couple different times to Congress and all that for them to rule on. And it's interesting because for all these naysayers to say, oh, it's not coming, it's years and years away. And you've heard me say that's not true because I just know better. And because of the insight we have with the show, we definitely know better.
We went there last week.
We did. That there's actually some very large names that are starting to get behind it, and they're starting to really want to, let's make a decision what we're going to do on this. And a little bit later in the show, I'll tell you the reason why this is so important. But this will be a record-setting, however they decide to do the bill, because there's a lot of people, as you know, that put millions and millions and billions of dollars into self-driving cars. And if they can't get the bill pushed through the way they need to, then it limits them to what they can do moving forward into the future. And a lot of people have big plans hinged on this. So,
but I am certain that eventually that will go through. It's just going to get pushed. The pressure will be there.
Well, yeah, no different than smoking laws and all that.
Yep.
Back in the day, they got pushed through because the power was behind
Yeah,
it.
the momentum of the movement grew.
Right. You start getting big names like Ford and Chevy and all them behind this, and you're going to have nothing but to have to do something. And the biggest thing is it limits a lot of things, like production to certain things being like 2,000 cars, and so there's some reasons behind it. But I don't know. You will see. I'm watching it carefully for us because I think it's kind of interesting. Right now, I know there's 5 members of the party that aren't really for it, and I think that's where the big hang-up are. So we'll see.
I'm convinced that it will eventually get through.
It will. I mean, you already can produce them and test them and all that kind of stuff already. So that bill already exists. The concern is that with moving forward with this bill is it opens the doors for so much more. And of course, you have all the advocates that say that we're not ready yet. There's not enough rules, restrictions. There's not enough safety and security put forward to, roll these programs out. And then, of course, the car manufacturer will say, well, the technology is changing rapidly, as we all know. Every week we talk about something different that's changed. So,
Yep.
You can't put a bill in place and say, okay, this is never going to happen when tomorrow they fix the problem that you're talking about today. So, like I said, I'll let you know how that goes. But I got some more serious news than that. I just want to know, where am I going to buy my Legos now that Toys R Us is going out of business? Seriously.
Walmart.
No. If you go to Toys R Us, it has a huge Lego selection. Now that Toys R Us is closed, where am I going to get my Lego cars from? That's what I want to know.
I can't believe that that's the only place you can buy Legos is Toys R Us.
Well, I can buy them online, but I want to go play with the boxes and stuff. I told you, I got an addiction to Lego cars, and you should have an addiction too. Just saying. Go buy some Legos. Play Legos with your kids. Build Lego cars. They got a new one out that actually came out this week too. It's like every week there's a new Lego car. So there's actually 2 new ones. There's a Superbird, the Plymouth Superbird. They actually have that's they're pushing right this second. You have to remember I told you there's like these petitions they put out, and everybody signs a petition, and if they get enough names, they'll produce a design.
Yeah. So
the Superbird is the new petition. So everybody that's into Legos or just likes cars in general, go sign the petition so I can get one. No.
I got to believe that there's other places to buy Lego in person.
You can go to Walmart if you want to. But, I mean, they don't have
Target.
You can go to Target if you
Lord
want to.
Lord knows, you can probably go just about any general store.
They just don't have the selection. They don't have the selection. I'm depressed. I like Toys R Us Lego selection. They had all the cars. And they got this new semi-truck out now that you can build. I want to buy it. I don't know what it costs, but I'm sure it's going to be expensive. They have like a new semi-truck that has a trailer, and it makes 2 different semi-trucks out of one kit.
Well, maybe you should have bought more Legos at Toys R Us, and they wouldn't be going under.
You think that's what it is? Or I shouldn't have waited until I had my 50% off day coupon?
That's it?
That's the serious news I got for you guys this week. Sorry. I guess show's over. I just want to know where to buy my Legos from. Oh, here's the one that's will get you. I always have to say, do you remember? Because we talk about so many things on this show that is small little blips on the map when we talk about it, and they turn into big things. Do you remember mind control, when we were talking about mind control with cars, where they were talking, and it's got to be almost 3 years ago.
I was going to say.
We were talking about when they were talking about, the idea, guys, is if you think the car can do it. A very small story we did. It had to be about 3 years ago. It was real small. It was just a concept was the idea.
I faintly remember it, but it seemed far-fetched to me at the time, so I just didn't file it very deep.
I went back in the archives and actually found where you and I were talking about it. And the thing that you had questions, because remember I told you had to put like a cap on that had sensors in the cap for it to read, and you're like, how many people are actually going to do that? Slide a cap over their head. And,
okay.
Well, your side of the story, like I said, I went and archived this because your side of the story was there's no way anybody's going to sit down in their car and slide a cap on their head so that the car can read their mind and they can talk to the car with their mind. You're like, that'd just be stupid. And then back then we were talking about how you'd have to put like the gel for all the little things to like make the connection and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's the part. That's no,
Right.
I'm not willing to do it now.
Right. You were not willing to do that. So I have your solution. I told you, technology. Now this one took a little longer.
Artificial scalp.
No. Injecting sensors into your body is how they plan on fixing that. So this is actually happening right now, guys. If you didn't know, there's actually little sensors, almost like the size of like how you tag a dog. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm talking how you.
Yeah.
They can inject these little things into your body, and they're sensor receivers that they can put in the body that the car will be able to pick up on those sensors in certain places and anticipate what you plan on doing.
That excites me less than the cap.
Does it?
Yeah,
You wouldn't have to wear the cap anymore, though.
You want to give yourself a shot and put foreign things in your body?
This is new. This is happening already. Now, see, here's the thing. This is what happens to us. So when you guys think that I'm crazy, and if you don't keep up on all the different stuff that happens in the news, I'm injected with it just for the fact of the radio show. So we get all these different media reports. Some things have to do with cars. A lot of stuff don't. But we just get all the media, and then I find whatever stories I find that are interesting, and we talk them out on the radio. But I see all the stuff, all the different things, because as I'm doing the research, I get everything I don't want to get on top of that. But the problem, the reason why this is news that doesn't hit for most people is because America's against this, obviously, just by your reaction, okay? And we're not the only one. But other countries like Brazil and stuff like that, they're for this, and they're already doing it. They're already allowing this. So they have nightclubs that allow nightclubs to give you an injection at a nightclub that gives you a sensor in your body, which gives you passage to go in and out without a bouncer and stuff like that, and different things that you can get access to while at the nightclub.
And how often do you have to get these injections?
I don't know. They didn't say that, but that just tells you the technology's already there. It's been out there for a long time. Now they're trying to move it into the automotive world. And what I mean by this is, if you let's say the press release and stuff, the story that I was reading that got sent over to me was, let's say that you're sitting in the car. And once again, it's they keep on gauging on if you're having a bad day. So I don't know why this keeps on happening. Every story we've talked about when they're like, the last 6 months of the new technology is for cars that can sense when you're having a bad day and they want to fix your bad day for you. But if you're like having a bad day and stuff, the car can sense it and it will move it'll basically like move you into slower traffic so it's not so stressful for you experience.
I just can't imagine a car solving that problem for me.
It's just this. I don't even know how people. You know what? We want the car to solve all the world's problems. Let's move them into the slower lane. But if the car senses that you are in a rush, so the car picks up your daily activities. Okay, it knows what you do on a regular basis because I told you how the car's going to start recording data.
It's reading your calendar.
Right, basically. So it knows that you're supposed to pick up your son, say at 5:30, and you're late. And it feels that you're moseying in the wrong lane, the car will pick up the sense of the urgency from you to know that you need to go, and it will navigate itself into a faster lane for you to get you there quicker.
Okay.
No?
A nice idea, but I'm still going around about this injection business.
Let me go ahead and introduce you into a different light since you didn't like either one of those. How about the fact that the car can anticipate things before you can actually make the movement?
Well, that would be based on artificial intelligence, I'm sure.
Well, that's exactly what this is, but you'd have to have the sensors.
Learning.
You're right, but you'd have to have the sensors. So it is reading the road and it sees everything that's going on. You see, let's say a tire falls off the back of a truck. You visually see it. Then that receptor has to send it to the brain, which then has to send it to your hands, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This technology removes all that. As you see it, the sensor picks it up and makes the movement for you to keep you from hitting the tire.
Well, if anything that's going to increase your safety.
Oh, now you're on board.
Well, you can't. It's hard to argue with it.
You don't want the lights to dim and it plays soothing music for you. But hey, if the same technology goes ahead and moves
I just want to get where I'm going comfortably and safely. That's it.
That's the reason why the driving living room works for you.
You're right.
That's the whole
You're
reason
exactly
why. That's
right.
the whole reason why the driving living room works for
Yep,
you.
I just want to get there.
I think it's funny how we're going in that direction with that technology. I mean, it's just it amazes me. But I found it funny that as I went through and I looked back when you and I were talking about it so long ago, that here we are. They've solved the cap problem. As you said, nobody's going to want to put a cap on when they're driving. Well, they don't need to.
Well, I think I'd rather wear a cap than stick a needle in me.
But they're microscopic. I mean, these sensors are going to be so tiny you would never even know they're there. You would never know they're there.
But the question hasn't been answered. How long do they last? If it's for your automobile,
I'm sure
you have to give
forever.
yourself. Well, that's what I want to know. Is it a one-time deal, or you got to do it every 30 days?
I think it's probably a one-time deal because I don't think it's just going to work your car.
Until you get a new car.
No, I don't think I think it'll work a bunch of different things. It'll just be able to connect with your car.
Yeah.
It's an interesting twist on technology.
I don't know. When you start talking about fooling with your body, that gives you the nervousness there.
I tell you what, if all this has blown your mind, I'm going to go to commercial break and let you guys think about it for a second. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Take vitamins, exercise, ease up on the coffee. Sound familiar from your last visit to the doctor? Well, your Napa Auto Care Center knows preventive maintenance too. By grouping together services your vehicle needs, customized for the way you drive, they can save you time, money, and hassles. Prevent troubles down the road and give you confidence when you travel. Ask your Napa Auto Care Center to build a preventive maintenance plan for your vehicle today.
Hey guys, check everything your Napa Auto Care Center has to offer at NapaBDGHRVA.com. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Their commitment to excellence will leave you coming back for more. So check them out at NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cotman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating, and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow and Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949, residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow and Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated. Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Pilach. Hey, if you guys were joining us on Facebook, look, of course, once again, Facebook was having some technical difficulties, but we are actually back up and running. So if you guys want to tune in and watch there, you have that chance too. So we're going to keep on rolling.
Scientific word for that is glitch.
Glitch? Is that the scientific word? Glitch. So before we left, we were talking about injecting things into your body so you can control your car. Larry, it's not a fan.
No, it's already a problem in society anyway. Too many people are injecting things in their body.
Okay, so if you want to talk about putting things in, how about removing things? You hear about Buick removing their name off of the back of their cars?
I did, and I don't understand why.
I think it's to make room for later on where they're going to start classifying cars as self-driving or electric or whatever it may be. They just need a place to put that badge on it. So I think they're going to just take.
There's
the word
plenty of
Buick
room
off
back there.
Yeah, but then it starts to look like a rolling billboard. I mean, so you ever had some of these cars nowadays? They have so many things stuck on the back of them. It just looks like a billboard.
Well, the dealer's not going to stop putting their nameplate on there.
I hate that.
I don't.
Do you know it's one of
I've
the first
never-
things I peel off?
I've never liked it.
I actually bought a car, and I think they got mad because I asked them to take it off.
I did too.
Because when I looked at the car, it didn't have it on it. So the car was there when I looked at the car. So when it went into cleanup, they put one of their little chrome badges on it. And I walked around the car for pickup, and I was like, I want that off.
Yeah.
The guy's like, well, why do you want that off? I was like, because it looks stupid on the car.
Yeah, I don't want that on there either. That's not necessary.
Yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't a fan.
I could see the manufacturer's badge on it, but
I'm okay with you putting it on the license plate holder if you want to. That doesn't bother me if you have your name around the license plate holder.
yeah,
That
I
doesn't
guess
bother
that's
me.
a good point. I've never thought about that, but I don't like it affixed to the car either with a metal emblem
or a
painted.
sticker. Or a sticker.
Well, sticker's even worse.
Yeah, I don't like the sticker either. It's funny because I think it's off now. The back of my truck, it actually, when I ordered my truck, it had to come from a different dealership.
Mm-hmm.
So the dealership I bought it from didn't have what I wanted in stock, so they got it from someplace else. So when the truck showed up, it had where it came from, and I just kind of got the impression that when they were just going to leave that on there, and they're going to put their sticker on the other side of the truck. And I was
Now you're promoting two dealers.
right. I was just like, I said, I just thought I don't want any stickers on my truck. So, yeah.
Yeah, they get offended when you ask them not to. The guy that I asked, I said, I'm not going to take delivery of that car with the dealer name painted on the back of my trunk. And they did remove it, but they made me feel like I had lost.
It was
my
actually
mind.
painted?
It was painted, yeah.
Oh, hand stenciled, actually.
I don't know how you get it on there, but it had the name of the dealership and the font that they use as part of their trademark. And I looked at it real closely and rubbed my finger over it, and I said, I believe this is painted. But they made short work of getting rid of it. Mm-hmm. Maybe that was a solvent that just would wipe it right off, but maybe it was something other than paint.
Well, I just don't understand the manufacturer deciding to remove their name off a vehicle. And I know I've read there's been a bunch of stories on it in the last week or so. Well, it's still going to have the flagship, symbol on it, so people be able to identify it as a Buick and stuff. But it's just weird to take your name off things. You work so hard to, get your name on things.
Well, the interior of my car, nowhere does it say Buick. On the driveway, on the steering wheel, it's got the little 3-shield logo of Buick, and that's it. Nowhere in the car, there's no other marking that would let you know that you were sitting in a Buick.
Well, to be fair, they were kind of ashamed of that model. So,
Well, it may be, but
he just went right over the top of that.
I know because I knew what you were doing. He's taking a kick at me, ladies and gentlemen.
That was not one of their nicest models they made.
I know. That's why they don't make it anymore.
You're right. They were very confused when they made that
But
model.
mine is paid for, and I will continue to drive it until it
Oh, I
ceases
know.
to run.
Well, I told you the development of that vehicle was supposed to be a camping vehicle.
Yeah.
That was the original intention. And then somehow the camping idea got scrapped, and they're like, let's just make it a driving vehicle.
All right, so they're not making Rendezvous anymore. They're not making Oldsmobiles anymore either.
You're right. They're not making Saturns anymore either, so there. Larry's like, I can't believe you took a stab at my poor vehicle.
Mazda's not putting wankles under the hood anymore.
Yeah. Although they want to.
Oh, I know. That's the video I was watching.
You must have been watching that. I knew it. For you to say that was that you had to see that the fact they want to. So, look, I'm corrupting you already.
That you are.
Hey, did you? This is kind of where it gets interesting. GM says that it's ready to sell fully automated vehicles by next year. Did you see that this week?
No, but if that's true, then somebody better get a leg on it and get it. And,
so who do you think one of the people who were standing on Capitol Hill was for this bill we were talking about?
Who?
GM.
Okay.
Because, so here's what it is. If you guys pay attention to the show, and we have a lot of loyal listeners, and I very much appreciate it, and people that actually been following us on Facebook, it's awesome. We've talked about this many times. And I said, and you remember me, as soon as I say it, you remember this conversation, when Tesla was taking all the heat, and I said somebody has to stand at the forefront and take all the heat. That's just the way technology works as we move forward. There's always that one guy that's right at the front who's taking it on the chin all the time. And then there's always the ones that stand in the back to see how this is going to work out.
The trailblazer.
That's right. Okay. And you remember that conversation we had?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And what did I tell you? I wouldn't be surprised to find out that one of these other auto manufacturers have surpassed Tesla above and beyond and is just being silent to see how everything turns out.
Well, you were right.
GM's your guy.
Yeah.
So GM,
That shouldn't be a surprise.
it's not to me, and that's the reason why I said it way back then. That's the reason why I've stood by my on my grounds as far as I knew this was going to happen. GM 100%, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it again. GM 100% has level 5 technology ready to roll out next year. If you don't know what level 5 technology is, that's no steering wheel, no gas pedal. And they're ready to roll it out next year. It's 100% functional, 100% tested.
Well, without a steering wheel, then obviously you can't control. It's not capable of being manually driven.
It's 100% automatic drive car. No driver needed in the driver's seat.
Well, they better get that bill passed fast.
I told you this. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. I've been saying it forever, and everybody's told me I'm crazy. I knew that there was somebody in the wings hanging back that had developed this technology. I knew there was going to be somebody, and I knew that Tesla was up front, just being bashed left and right for everything they developed. I mean, let's be honest. Tesla's only in like level 3, moving into level 4 for what they've advertised to the public, by the way. I'm going to say what they've advertised to the public because I believe a lot of these guys are holding their cards so close to their chest when it comes to this because of all the bills being passed and all the heat that they're taking. I knew there was somebody in the wings just kind of like, ooh, you have no idea what I've made. You know what I mean? I just knew it.
At the right moment, they dropped the bomb.
And that's what they did. And they said, look, we're ready. 2019, we have a car that's 100% level 5 capable that we're ready to put on the street immediately.
Well, the 2019 models will start to roll out later this year.
2019, but you're always 1 year ahead. So, it'll be a 2020 model, but it'll be roll out in 2019. But they said they're ready, which is when we talked about it, almost 3 years ago, what was the date that I gave you?
2020.
That's right.
I wonder if they will sell these vehicles in the same dealership setup that they sell existing technology cars.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm thinking it'll be a limited run. You're not going to walk to a dealership and see 700 self-driving cars sitting on their lot. That's not what's going to happen.
Not initially.
You're probably going to see a run of 100,000 cars made that can drive themselves that will be distributed across the United States.
If you drive an automated car, do you need to? Is there a need to take it for a test drive?
No, it can take you for a test drive. But like I said, I mean, I saw this coming. I knew this was coming. It lined up for the perfect movie. It was a perfect storm. You got the guy who's the bruiser who gets beat up in the ring, and then somebody else swoops in and takes all the glory. That's just the way it is.
Well, we've been talking about it since the show started 3 years ago.
We have, and everybody's laughed at us. It's been the biggest. I mean, I've had more conversation, guys, with people from doing this show where people listen and stop and talk, and different events we've gone to, different car shows we've gone to, where people are like, it's not, you know what, you guys talk about it, and it's not coming, this isn't going to happen, and I think you guys are way off base, and I have 100% dug my heels into the sand and stood my ground on it and said, this is coming. It's coming. Call me crazy, whatever, it's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. People aren't dropping that kind of money if it isn't coming, and here we are. GM, of all the people, GM is the one that goes, hey, we're ready.
And the folks will buy them.
Of course they're going to buy them because we're lazy. I mean, I'm sorry. Don't mean to hurt you guys' feelings, but we are. We are a lazy group of people. If we could, look, I'm telling you, I want to market my rolling living room. I don't, just push a button and the living room undocks, takes me where I want to go, and that's it. Because it would sell because we're lazy.
I like that idea. I don't see it being economically feasible, at least at the beginning. I can see that having such a big price tag.
Okay, but what if it came as part of your home? If you bought like a home and it just came part of the deal, or you would just,
I'd never considered they would do it that way, but why not?
Why not? I mean, you already got rolling pizza stores that they're building, and I mean, why not?
Telescoping gangplank, you can just get out and walk right up to your door.
George Jetson, man, I tell you.
A little canopy over it so when it's raining, you don't
If it wasn't for George, we wouldn't have half the stuff we have right now. He was an innovator. Spacey sprockets, I'm telling you. Those guys. I don't know. We've lost control. It's St. Patrick's Day. We've lost control. We're off the chain. And it's already commercial break time again. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break. And when I come back, we're going to get into some of the news that I've been talking about. I got in a bunch of conversations with people this week about being pulled over. And you guys are going to want to hear this. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Hey guys, Dave Pillotch from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janef, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janef, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949, residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated.
Something really cool happened in 1975. And no, it wasn't the beginning of the disco era. Congress passed the Magnuson-Moss Act, so you don't have to take your vehicle back to your dealer to keep your vehicle manufacturer's warranty in effect. Our Napa Auto Care Center uses the proper replacement parts and procedures to keep that warranty valid. Visit our independently owned Napa Auto Care Center today.
Hey guys, you asked for it and I delivered. Check out our all-star team of automotive specialists at NapaBDGHRVA.com. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Pillotch.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to WKQA Freedom 1110. I am your host, Dave Pillotch. And before we went to commercial break, I was making everybody guess and think about all the different things that are going on with cars. So I'm just saying, the technology, I knew it had been there. I knew people were playing possum, and now here we are.
Well, nothing stays the same. That's the one thing you can everybody say in honesty. Nothing stays the same.
No,
everything evolves.
It does. So here's something of a story that's evolved. So I got into a conversation this week, and as I tell you guys, I like to open up stories and have stories over and over again that generate conversation about things. So I got into the conversation about being pulled over this week, and not so much your typical conversation, but the conversation circled around the fact that if you have been pulled over and you get stuck with a police officer whose demeanor or the way he decides to deal with you, or even the way he decides to talk to you, including cursing or whatever it may be, it turns into one of those situations. And where do you stand and what do you do in that situation? And it came up, and I talked to a bunch of different people on it and got a lot of people's views on it of, what they thought and how they would handle the situation. And it was interesting to get a lot of people's different views. Now, it was interesting because as you open any forum conversation, you get views of all different types. So we went into religion, race, you name it. Everybody had a different thought of, the reason why the situation went down the way that it did, whether it be because of the color of your skin or because of your presentation of the way you look or how, things you may have on your car, right down to having religious stickers on your car, whatever. So like I said, we covered pretty much all the different bases of what may have alluded to the way that the officer treated you once he got you pulled over. But the pinpoint of it is when you get an officer, because we know there's all different types of people out there. I mean, we have great officers out there. There's bad officers out there. We've had this discussion many times. What to do when you get an officer who's not conducting himself the way he should, stuck at your window. And, a lot of people say, I just plan on being quiet. And just going through it and just being done, so I didn't, engage with them and make them even madder or whatever it may be, and just deal with it in court. The problem with it is once they got to court and they thought they were going to deal with the officer's behavior, they found out that there's no time to talk about the officer's behavior in court, because all they want to deal with is just the citation that you've been written. The judge doesn't want to hear about the officer's behavior. So they feel like they were slighted for the fact that they decided to go ahead and be quiet and not say anything and not make the officer mad, even though he was having a bad day, or maybe that's just the way he decides to treat people. And they were going to try to address that at a later time in court, but they never get the opportunity to address the fact that that's how they went down. So it's kind of interesting. Curious what you thought.
Well, we talked about it a little before we went on
did.
the air. It's my experience has always been, just me personally, the state troopers seem to be more courteous than the local town police.
And I agreed with you on that. And I've been pulled over by both, and I feel that had been the case too. They seem to just have more of a.
They're more professional.
Yes. I guess that'd be the best way.
Maybe there's a difference in the training. I don't know.
Well, some of the stories I got were right down to the point where officers, got out of their car and started dropping the F-bomb while they're talking to you.
That is unprofessional.
And they're taken back, and even to the point where people have asked, "I want to speak with your supervisor," because that's. If you remember back in the day, that's something we were taught. I remember being taught that if you had a problem with the officer, that you could ask for the supervisor. That way, you didn't have to engage with somebody that you were having a communication issue with. Mm-hmm. And they told me, they've requested them, and they wouldn't call one. They wouldn't bring one to the scene.
I never knew that was something you had an option to do.
Yeah, I was told that at a younger age, that if I had a communication problem with the officer that was on scene, that you could ask for the supervisor to show up. That way, to diffuse the problem. In my opinion, as I got to be an adult, I thought that actually escalated the problem, because
fans
now
the flame.
Yeah, because now you've made the officer mad, but you made him mad, and he still didn't call the supervisor. So if he was a problem when he first came up to your door, he's a really problem now.
Yeah, now he's going to go over you with a fine-tooth comb.
Correct. So, like I said, I saw a lot of different avenues with it. We talked about it in different instances, and a lot of the stories ended the same. Everybody was like, look, I just decided to be quiet. I mean, this guy was just completely out of control. His demeanor, or the way he acted, or the sly comments he would make. And I've experienced that. I remember getting pulled over one time where basically he said something to me, and he was like, if you even have a driver's license. He asked me if I even had one. And I was just like, what would even indicate to this guy that I wouldn't have one? You understand?
Well, he's being sarcastic.
Right. You know what I mean? But for no reason at all. So I found it interesting, and I shared a bunch of my stories when we were talking in the forum and stuff, because, like I said, I engage in these conversations with people because I'm interested in their take, and, it's things I like to talk about on the radio. I like to get people's take and see what they think, and go ahead and just get involved in all different types of conversations. This is one I got involved with. Now, I'll tell you, and I was telling you a little bit off the air, I got into a little bit before we got started. I once got pulled over 5 different times, almost in a week and a half span. And I think I've talked about this once before. So I was in the military, and I just got out, and I was living here. Well, you remember that's when you had to have a city sticker, and you had to have the state inspection sticker. Well, I went down to go get my car all done correctly for this state, because I had Illinois tags on my car. So I went to go get everything all squared away, and I couldn't get a city sticker because it showed that I owed back taxes on my car. Well, anybody that's military would know that I didn't pay the state tax because I wasn't from here.
Yeah, you paid Illinois' tax.
Correct. Okay, so they wouldn't give me a city sticker. Well, I had a job here that I had to go to every single day. Every day I had to go to that job just like anybody else does. You get up on Monday, you go to work. You get up on Tuesday, what do you do? Go to work.
Yeah.
Get up on Wednesday, what do you do?
Repeat.
Correct. Okay. So every day I got up, and every day, what do you think happened to me?
You got pulled.
By the same police officer. Every time.
Was it at the same place?
Same place. Within less than half a mile, I got pulled over every time.
And every time you got a summons?
And every time she wrote me a ticket.
Wow.
Yep. So, and she got aggravated every time, even more every time she gave me a ticket. And she's like, well, you just don't learn your lesson, do you? I said, ma'am, there's no lesson to be learned here. As I explained to you the first time you pulled me over, I'm not at fault here. I can't get that sticker that you're asking for. I have a court date already set to go fix this problem. I had to go to court, to show that I don't owe the city money. And I was waiting for that court date to come, but that wasn't going to change the fact that I had to go to work. You know what I mean? I'm like, it wasn't my problem.
Sure.
Me and you've talked about this, about me being accused of being stubborn at points in time. We've had this conversation.
Obstinate.
And I wasn't being, and in my case, I wasn't being stubborn in that case. I was standing up for what I believed in. I knew I wasn't at fault. I knew I hadn't done anything wrong. So why should my rite of passage to, travel the roads to go where I need to go be hindered by something that wasn't my issue? So every time she pulled in, she was just like, I deal with people like you all the time. You guys got every excuse in the book, and she got worse every time she pulled me over. And I just kept on reminding her, I'm like, this isn't my issue. If I literally thought I did something wrong, I wouldn't keep on taking the same road to travel knowing you're going to pull me over the very next day.
Yeah, you would correct it.
Right. I would go correct the problem, or I'd find a different way to go to work. I wouldn't keep on passing you knowing you're going to be sitting there, knowing you're going to give me a ticket every single day if I thought I was truly doing something wrong.
Maybe she thought you were taunting her.
I don't know what she thought. I can tell you that I finally went to court on this, and when I went to court, the judge was appalled by her behavior, first time in my life that ever happened, for the fact that even he asked her, he says, if you really thought he was trying to get over or do something wrong, do you think he would pass you every day around the same time knowing that you're going to be sitting there? Is what he asked her. And she looked at him puzzled, like she couldn't wrap her head around the question, which was the same question that I had given her when I was on the side of the road. I was like, if I really was doing something wrong, do you think I would, risk driving by you every single day? And he dismissed everything. So it was just one of those things I understood when people were talking about this. I understood where people were, it quickly reminded me of how an officer can just be at your window and you're stuck just taking whatever it is they're serving to you with no way out. Even though if you think you're right, and if you go by the theory of what I've told you, being on the side of the road arguing your point is not the place.
No.
And I've said that to you guys 1,000 times. It's really not healthy either. This has been proven many times. Just do what you need to do, take your ticket, you have your day in court. The only problem with that nowadays is people say, I have my day in court, but when I get my day in court, then I'm not even allowed to really speak and talk about my day in court either. So I didn't get my moment on the side of the road, and I didn't get my moment in court either.
That's when you have to shake some more trees like city council.
It is. You know what? I believe in the process, guys, over and over again, but I also believe by listening to people tell the stories that sometimes the process is broken. So I believe in both ways. I think I'm on the fence on both sides.
I don't think it's broken. I think they just don't care.
Is that what you think?
That's what I think. I think that's we don't care about that.
Well, here's the thing. If you're stuck with an officer berating you on the side of the road and cursing at you on the side of the road, I think he should be held accountable for his action because he is the officer of the law.
I agree.
And he should be conducting himself in a completely different manner than that. So I understand where these people's complaints come from. Equally, to be fair, guys, while I was talking in the forum and talking to a bunch of different people and doing a bunch of different interviews, there was many people who told me that they've had pleasurable experience when they got pulled over, which I've had both. And I think I told you guys a story when I got pulled over in Suffolk,
yep.
Remember? And I told you the police officer pulled me over, and he said, you were speeding. I said, I don't believe that I was. I said, but this isn't the time to argue with you on the side. Exactly what I said. Verbatim what I'm telling you guys. This isn't the time to argue with you on the side of the road. You're doing your job. If you believe I was speeding, go ahead and write the ticket, and we can have our day in court. And he just looked at me. And I said, totally not being difficult with you. I know you're out here doing your job. I'm not going to hinder you from doing your job. I know that I wasn't speeding. You believe that I was, and I'm okay with you writing me the ticket. And the guy was just flabbergasted when I said it.
Did he write it?
Yes, he wrote it. So he comes back to the car, and at that point he saw just over 20 years since I'd had a ticket at that point. And he was just like, you haven't had a ticket in almost 20 years, or just over 20 years. I said, yes, sir. He goes, I'm not going to tell you. Now, this is the guy handing me the ticket. He's, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if it was me, I'd show up and see me in court. This is exactly what he said. Now, he's handing me the ticket, but he told me that if it was him, he would see me. He would go see the officer in court and challenge him on it because it had been so long since I had had a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And I did, and I didn't get a ticket. I went in front of the judge. I explained to him. I said, I don't believe I was speeding, and here's the reasons why. And the judge agreed with me, and I didn't get a ticket for that because I knew I wasn't speeding that day. There was just no way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he thought that I was. Like I said, I've had good experiences, and I truly have had bad experiences. Like I said, being pulled over 5 different times, and her being equally rude excessively every single time. I've been there, guys. I know how that works. And a lot of people, they told me, well, you don't understand because it's a race thing. And I'm like, well, no, because I've had both experiences too. So I do kind of understand to a certain degree how you could have both experiences, bad or good. I've told you this story before also of when I didn't have a license plate on the car. We talked about that off the air. Mm-hmm. And I purchased a car that did not have a way to mount a front license plate on it. And the bumper was round, guys. And I got pulled over like 20 times for not having a license plate on that car. Now, you guys would think that's being stubborn. It wasn't being stubborn. That was me, once again, just believing what I believed in. They sold me the car with no way to mount a front license plate. And before you guys get tricky or get clever, it was a round bumper on the car. So the license plate would have been bent over round to be mounted in the car. And then I found out that they made a conversion kit to go on the car that was like $385 to buy to put on this car to put the license plate. My ground and the laurels that I was standing on was the fact that if they can sell me the car without a way to mount the front license plate, I shouldn't be required to mount it. And that's the reason why I got pulled over 20 times. And by the way, the 20 times that I went to court on it, I beat it 20 times.
I still maintain that the dealer should have put the plates on the car.
I don't disagree with you, but there was no way for them to mount that front license plate. And they sure enough weren't going to give me a $385 conversion kit for free to put on the car. And none of the cars they were selling a lot, by the way, had the conversion kit on it. There was no way to mount the front license plate without bending the license plate to screw it into the car.
That should have been part of the purchase of the car to meet the local laws. Local law says you got to have a plate front and back in Virginia.
It does.
And it should have been accommodated. They should have accommodated you and taken care of that.
Here's how, and everybody asked me how I beat it. I went out onto a roadway, a major intersection, and I filmed every car like mine, which took a while for them to pass me, but every time, and I'd sit out there and run videotape. And this was back when you had to have one of the big, huge cameras. Mm-hmm. And I ran videotape of the cars like mine passing with no front license plate. Every single one had no front license plate because they had no way to attach it. Then I went to the dealership, and I filmed tape of the dealership of about 50 of those cars for sale on different lots, brand new, not used, with no way to attach a front license plate being sold from the lots. And that was my defense. So every time I went to court, I brought the VHS tape, tells you how long ago this was, with me. And I was like, here's the tape. Take a look. They sell the car that way. There's no way to attach the front license plate. You're allowing them to sell the car that way. Why should I be required to have a front license plate if you're allowing them to sell the car like that in the state of Virginia?
No, I can't disagree.
Yeah. What you can't disagree with is it's time to take a commercial break again.
Wow.
I know, crazy, isn't it? We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated.
There's something special about Napa Auto Care Centers. They're backed by the national strength of Napa. Nationwide warranties honored by thousands of locations. You know that's Napa know-how. But more importantly, your Napa Auto Care Center is independently owned and operated by neighborhood professionals who operate by a written code of ethics. Put your vehicle in the hands of ASE certified technicians who will greet you with a smile you can trust. Visit us today.
You heard me say it, and now here's your chance. Now's the time to go find your auto garage. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to NapaBDGHRVA.com and find your all-star car care center today. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach, and we are just kind of going over some of the stuff. So, am I making you laugh?
Are you singing? I think you're singing.
Am I singing?
Yeah.
Singing in the rain. Singing in the rain. No?
Yeah, well, now we've heard everything.
Yeah, right. It's a good thing I don't get paid to sing, right? Hey, so I got a good one for you. How about GM going in the Airbnb business?
I cannot imagine what they're up to with that.
Oh, something close. Not exactly Airbnb, but how about if you own a GM, you can rent it out to somebody?
Like a GM vehicle? And you
Yeah.
can, well, you can do that now.
They have this pilot program they've been playing with. Now they're going to open it up even wider, where they want, if you own a GM vehicle, you can enter this program and you can rent it out to people. So somebody can just come to your house and rent your vehicle since you own a GM vehicle.
Well, since you can rent a part of your house, why not rent it? It's your property.
This is weird. Wouldn't it be weird if somebody just showed up to your house like, here, I'm here to rent your car, and they take it for a couple hours or a day or whatever and take your car?
Well, I think there'd be an orderly way to do that, and you got to get paid for leasing it. And
Would you be okay with that?
No.
Okay, so because either would I. I would not be okay with somebody just letting somebody take my pride possession truck and go take it for a couple hours. Or, I mean, I already have a fit when the kids take it.
I get the concept, and I get just like the Airbnb. I would never participate. I don't want some stranger in my house.
I don't want a stranger in my truck.
If somebody else, well, I don't want to deny somebody else the freedom to do it if they're okay. But I would not do it.
I could not rent my vehicle to anybody. I couldn't even let most people I know drive my truck.
I'm with you. I think a lot of people are, but I think a lot of people just don't care. If you're going to give them a few bucks, here are the keys.
I know what happens to rental cars. You laugh. Okay, so I'll tell you another story. I've told you many over the years, but I'll tell you another story. So I rented this is bad. I was young. Keep this in mind, guys. So I was a younger man. I rented a Chevy Blazer when they were in their height. 1997, I think it was 97 when I rented it. And I was out on the West Coast, and it was brand new. Still had that nice new car smell to it. And it was a rental. And of course, I don't know what it is. People just tend not to take care of rentals for the most part. They just don't.
They don't care.
It's not theirs. They don't care. But I ended up on a off-road four-wheel drive racetrack with this thing for the weekend. Yeah.
To have fun?
Oh, I had a blast.
What'd you do to the car?
I drove it like it was an off-road four-wheel drive race truck.
So you tore it up.
It went back in all one piece. But that just tells you that
Yeah. Not the same way you picked it up.
Well, if you remember, we talked about, so when we went out and went out for the Carroll Shelby reveal of the Mustang, of the Hertz Mustang, remember, in Vegas, we went out there for it. And I told you the stories of when they used to rent those back in the 60s and what the guys were taking them straight to the racetrack.
Yeah.
And running them all day long at the racetrack in the races, in the bracket races, and then would bring them back after they rented them.
And they stopped doing it.
Right, and now they brought it back now. They have the new one they released. So we went out there out in Vegas for the release of the car. But this is nothing new. People have rented cars. People go rent Corvettes, and they take them to the racetrack, and they run them out at the track day events.
I didn't know you could rent Corvettes.
Oh, yeah. If you go to any rental car, most of the high-name rental car places, and you go to what their specialty cars are, they have like GT500 Mustangs, all different kinds of stuff. You just have to reserve them way in advance. But they have them.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah, there's ones that have Ferraris. There's some that I want to say it's Enterprise that has the Ferrari. But you have to rent them in advance. It's only at like their nice locations like Miami, Vegas, stuff like that. They're high premier locations, but they have high luxury brands that you can rent.
I'm sure it's got a premium rental rate on it too.
They're not bad. Like at one point in time, the Ferrari was like $890 a day, which isn't horrible for a Ferrari for the day. Well, it's not. It's a Ferrari.
Well, that may be, but I'm not willing to pay that. It's almost $1,000 a day to drive a Ferrari. It's not worth it to me.
I would rent it and go pick it up as soon as I could in the morning. And this is where you make the most of it. So if people think I'm crazy for $890, it's not. Okay, so if you go on a cruise and you go on an excursion, what does it cost you to go on an excursion? You'll pay $500-$600 to go on an excursion on a cruise.
Yeah.
Okay. No different. You make an excursion out of it. You go, you rent the Ferrari, and especially if you're in Nevada. Okay. So let's just say you're in Vegas, and you can pick up the car at 8 o'clock in the morning. You get up early, just like you would for an excursion on a cruise, because that's the way it works. You go pick the car up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you start your cruise, and you go do the twisty, windy up to the dam to Boulder Dam. And you go see the dam. So it's a nice cruise in a Ferrari up to go see the dam. And you go up there, and then you cruise up over the pass and go into Arizona and have lunch. You come back down the nice winding roads, and you come through. Maybe you go out to Lake Mead and cruise around outside Lake Mead, stop into the pier and see the sights. And then you cruise into town and have a nice dinner in town, go down the strip in a Ferrari. You make a whole day out of it for $890.
You made a good point. I get it. But okay. It's still not something.
I didn't sell you? Did I kind of sold you.
Not because I wouldn't do the cruise part either.
Oh, God. But you understand what I mean.
That's why I said I think you make a great point. I get it.
All right. I'm just saying, if you end up with a Chevy Blazer that has a lot of squeaks in it, I might have been responsible. Just saying.
So go buy you a Ferrari that's been in the rental market, huh?
If I've rented that Ferrari, you're probably not going to want that car either. I'm just saying. Sorry to disappoint you guys. Hey, did you see Tesla's building a drive-in restaurant?
No, I know they're building a new model, but they're building a
if they're still going to be around. I mean, if you listen to the news lately, everybody thinks they're going to tank and
I don't see Tesla going away anytime soon.
I don't either. But Tesla's thinking about building a drive-in restaurant. Remember, I told you he was talking about maybe building like a 7-Eleven slash kind of like gas station, convenience store.
Charging station.
Yeah, because they're trying to figure out a way what to do with the charging station. They realize they have to have charging stations. So they want a charging station and something to do. So now he's looking at doing a drive-in. So you drive in and get yourself a little food like at the drive-in, and then you can charge your car at the same time.
Well, they would have to have twice as many charging stations as pumps, because when you go to gas up, you get your gas and you go, 5 minutes at the most?
And then maybe a little longer.
It takes a while to charge these cars, so to accommodate more cars, they would have to have more charging stations.
I think it would work. I think it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to come up with some type of idea. I thought that one was the coolest one that I actually saw. So I got a bunch of videos sent to me this week.
So did you see a prototype of this place?
Yeah, I saw like a little thing that was sent to me. So it was kind of cool. The other thing I saw that was, did you see Elsa? You know who Elsa is, right?
No.
You got grandkids. You know who Elsa is.
I have grandkids. What's that?
The movie Frozen.
I know about the movie, but I've never seen it.
So the main character is Elsa.
Okay. And is that a cow?
Is it a cow?
Every time I hear the name Elsa,
I have to educate you in all the car movies. Now I'm going to have to educate you in the Disney movies too.
I don't go to the movies with my grandkids. They go with their parents.
All right. So Elsa is the character in the movie Frozen who freezes things on a touch. She touches things.
All right.
Well, they had the big, huge blizzard up in Boston and Massachusetts area and stuff like that.
Right.
Where there was a video of a grown man dressed in an Elsa costume in the blizzard trying to push one of the police trucks that was stuck in the snow, and he's pushing it. And then people have done like little memes to it and like putting the song and the music from Disney to it of him pushing the truck.
I get that. I've just never seen it. I don't know anything about it.
Here's something I know you know about. Roseanne.
I'm familiar with Roseanne, yes.
You watched the show a couple times.
I've watched it a few times.
And you know it's coming back on March 27th.
Yep, I knew they had rebooted it.
They did. Well, she's going to be sponsoring the NASCAR race this week. It's the Roseanne 300.
No kidding. I never knew she was a NASCAR enthusiast.
I guess they're going after that down route, rural area type of person that would watch Roseanne at the time, I guess. I watched Roseanne. I thought it was a funny show. I know a lot of people that didn't get it and didn't find it funny, but I thought it was funny.
I mean, I wasn't a big fan of her, but I did like the show.
Yeah. Yep, Roseanne 300 today.
Wow.
So, yeah, you guys like NASCAR like I do. I like me some NASCAR. They go fast. And
She should put herself in one of the cars.
no, actually, they're going to have DJ. What was one of the characters'
Yeah,
names? He's actually going to be the Grand Marshal.
The son.
Yeah, he's going to be the Grand Marshal.
Okay.
So,
I'm sure she'll make an appearance there.
yeah. I don't know.
Promote the show.
That's all I got. It's like already time for us to go already.
You're
I don't know what it
empty.
is.
You're
I'm
empty.
That's it. That's all I got.
It's time for another fill-up.
It is. It's time for another fill-up. And we're going to fill up next week. You guys, once again, that is the end of our show. It is a Saturday. The weather's actually pretty nice out there where we're at. Enjoy your Saturday. Sunday's right around the corner. Turn off the TV. Spend some time with your kids. Hey, build some Lego toys. They'll enjoy it. We will talk to you guys next week, and we are out of here.